Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy Summers, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to build a funnel. Now, I have been teaching funnel building and marketing for online social media for the last 5 years, and I'm very passionate about this. And I want to show you the quickest, easiest way to build out a funnel system that can instantly start bringing results for you. So if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I'm huge on making sure that we have a customer journey mapped out. And when we map out a customer journey, it literally like helps us, our brains, to be able to like walk people through the process. And if you're going to be a funnel builder, and you want to monetize your social medias, you have to know where you're leading them next. It's pointless just to post something on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and not have a place to send them. I mean, ultimately, you could be gathering followers, but my feeling is when you're gathering on other people's platforms, that is where you can lose a lot of things. You can, like, one day maybe you get shadow banned, maybe your YouTube channel gets shut down, which I know people where that's happened, or my YouTube channel got hacked. And if you don't have that list in place, then when something like that happens, it's actually terrifying. And I actually built my business for the first couple years back in like 2012 using just Facebook. And the problem is as soon as I ran into an issue, it was a huge issue and I couldn't go back and change it. So I really want you to get good at thinking about the customer journey. I want you to get good at understanding that the awareness portion is number one. That's when you're posting and you have to lead them somewhere. You have to get them to engage in your content, whether that's through commenting, DMs, inviting them to go to a link, to join a group, to download a freebie, something. And I always lead my people into our Monetize Your Socials group. It's a great place to jump in with other entrepreneurs. You can go to summerschool.com/MYS, monetize your socials, and Summers is SOMMERS. And that is my free group where I do my events and I share my videos. And there's a lot of great tips. Plus, you're kind of collaborating with other people in that same space. So in this customer journey, it is key that you kind of think through, okay, after you're posting, where are you leading them next? What is the next step? So this you can have multiple directions for them. So another one that I like to lead people to is my YouTube beginner checklist, which you can always find in the description below. I'm trying to think actually if I've added it to this description. I'll add it right after. And it will give you it's like a 4 or 5 page checklist of everything you need to do when you're posting on YouTube. It's awesome. So you want to take them from the awareness into the engage. So I'm going to teach you how to build a funnel today so that when they are ready to make that micro commitment, and that's what I like to call it. I like to think of it as a gate that they're going through. And a micro commitment, it's micro because they're giving you their email, and you in turn are giving them some value in return. And so you always want to be thinking like, what is the next value that I'm going to give them that will eventually lead them into some sort of a purchase, whether that's maybe they click on one of your affiliate links or they purchase one of your products, something like that. So we're going to jump in and I'm going to teach you how to build a funnel. Now, there are some key parts to a funnel. The first thing, obviously, a funnel, it has a domain attached to it. And a lot of times people are like, what's the difference between a funnel versus a website? Both of them have domains. So you have a link that you're sharing. But a funnel, I like to say, has one purpose. When you go to a website, it's kind of like you can choose your own adventure. You can click on the About Me. You can look at the classes they've got. You can look at all the products that they have. There's lots of different things that you can do on a website. Whereas on a funnel, you do not want a ton of links. There's one purpose to the funnel. And that one purpose is whatever you're giving the funnel that, you want them to do. Do you want them to sign up for your free guide? Do you want them to get it into a webinar or a class? Do you want them, like, whatever it is that you want to do, that's the only thing that you want to put on that funnel. And that ensures that they're not going to have like this squirrel brain. So when you're thinking about a funnel, some people get confused. Yes, it has a domain. So it's, summerschool.com/MYS, or something like that. But it's different than like going to summerschool.com and seeing all of our courses there and you've got like 50 options versus the one thing. So it really like leads them through this customer journey. That's what you want to do. You want to give them that next step so they're not having to guess through that. So let's come on over here. Now, when I first got started funnel building about 6 years ago, I tried all the different programs. And like I've done them all. I did Thinkific, I did Teachable, I did Kajabi, I did ClickFunnels, I did Lead Pages. Like I tried them all. And I finally landed on a really awesome one that I'm going to share with you today. And the reason why I loved this one is I had spent years building out a lot of systems. And the struggle, especially as a small entrepreneur, is that you ultimately you're everything, right? You have to build out all the systems. And when the system is complicated, it's going to take you longer and it's going to be harder for you to build out. So if you are a young entrepreneur in the sense that you've just started your business and you're learning all these things for the first time and you realize you're going to need some tech help through this process, then I would highly recommend that you're going to want to use this program I'm about to show you, because when you're building a funnel, there's some key components. You have the actual funnel page that they go to, and then you have to be able to collect their information. So I used to do this with a Google form. And then once you collect that information, you have to be able to deliver whatever that exchange is. So if you've got a freebie download, if you've got a group, like you have to have something that you can deliver to them. And so I always say there's like a front facing portion of the funnel, and then there's like a behind the scenes. And the behind the scenes is the automation. So when I first started building funnels, it was like somebody would come through my funnel and then I would like see it and I'd have to go in and manually send an email. And so even though I was using these different programs, I then had to get into a email program that I inputted the information into, and we basically had to zap that information. So I had people's information on my Thinkific, and I had people's information on my MailChimp and my Active Campaign and in my ClickFunnels. I had it all over. And as soon as I organized it and pulled it all into one place, that is when the magic happened, because suddenly as an entrepreneur, I'm not having to manage as many confusing things. So I didn't have to go to Google Forms and then put that into my CRM, things like that. And so I love this program. It's absolutely amazing. I put a link to it in the description below. I think you'll see it'll say Social Fox, and then it has a link, and I am an affiliate for that. So if you end up trying it out, I think there's a 14-day free trial. But the thing that I love about this funnel builder is it's not just a funnel builder. And so there's so many other things that come in this funnel builder. It's my email system. It's my forms. It's my automations. It's my website. It's all of it in one place. And so I really just have to get good at one program instead of getting good at 25 different programs. When that happened, that's when I was able to truly expand to and actually monetize my social media, because I wasn't having to figure out, all these crazy different things. So I'm going to walk you through how quick and easy it is to set a funnel up. And so I just want you to remember the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a landing page that has a domain to it. I don't want to call it a website, because websites are technically like the about you and your products, and it's your choose your own adventure, versus something like this where the funnel has one purpose. So it does have a domain. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to click new funnel. Now, what I love about this is I can go in and I can create a funnel. Once I've got one created, I can duplicate that and just change a few things, but they have some really great templates on Social Fox. And like I said, you can find the link in the description below. And so you can see there's so many great little templates that you've got lots of different things. This is just showing the most popular. And I'm going to choose one that's super simple. All I want to do for this is I just want to gather information. And I actually want it to be beautiful, but I don't want it to be, we're going to do this one, I think. And so this is an easy one. I'm going to show you how to build it out very quickly with a template. I'm going to show you how to build it out without a template. So while it's adding this template, it's going to take just a minute to populate it, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And so I'm going to show you how to create a brand new one with no template as well, so that you can go in and maybe you have your favorite colors and logos and you don't want to have to go in and edit and adjust this. The other thing I love about this is it really is, it's like a drag and drop. And so as long as you know what you're like, where you're going to send them next, you can literally set this up in like no time whatsoever. So we're going to refresh here and just see if it's going to give us the option. So the one of the main funnels or steps in your funnel is actually having a form in your funnel. That is key, because that's how we gather the information. We have to set up a form in order to gather that information. And you can use Google Forms if you're like just starting and you're like, I'm not sure, I used Google Forms to get started. That was the very first thing that I did. Now, when you are doing a micro commitment, you have to kind of think through these funnels and think, like, first, if you're selling something, obviously it's going to be a little more beefy than a very basic like giveaway funnel where you're just doing like a freebie to gather their information. So when you're thinking about that, you have to think through in your customer journey process, like where are you in that customer journey process? And if like, because you can build funnels throughout this entire thing. If I'm really trying to get to the convert portion versus the engage and the subscribe, my funnel might be a little beefier in the convert and excite rather than in the engage and subscribe. And so let's jump in here, and I'm going to give this just a minute. We're going to create a new funnel just from scratch, and I'm going to call this my freebie. So this is what I'm giving away for free. Let's say I was going to create a guide. I'm actually going to show you how to create this guide so simply, because you also have to have something to give them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the first step. So this is opt-in. So we're going to name these steps, and the path is going to be, I'm going to call this guide, because we're going to create a guide. Okay. And it's going to open up a blank page. And we're going to create from blank, because we have the other one I'm going to walk you through that came from a template, but I really want to show you just how quick and easy this is. So you have to think through, like if you've ever done any kind of designing, you know that there are layers to design. And so the way that you lay this out is there's always a section. So you're going to drive a section in here. Okay. And then you can't, the section actually houses the rows and columns. And so if you're like, ooh, I want just one column at the top, then it's like that. But if you wanted, let's say you wanted 2 columns, you can actually drop, here's a 1 column and a 2 column into the same section. The section can hold lots of rows, and then within the rows are the columns. So the sections are green, the columns or the rows are blue, and the columns are light purple. So see how that goes? So when you can understand that, and then in order to add any kind of element in there, so see how it goes, sections, rows, and within the rows are the columns, then you have to add elements into that. And so the elements are where you do all of your designing. So you've got lots of things, a headline, a bullet list, a form, which we're going to use. Sorry, I didn't mean to click that. Blog posts, category navigations, image sliders, videos, images. There's so many things that you can do. Surveys, you can actually code, you can put a countdown in here. And so I want to teach you just how to do a very basic funnel that once you start building this out, you can use this over and over and over again. In fact, I have a funnel that I set up back in 2020 that to this day brings me leads every single day. Once you set it up right the first time, you are golden after that. It's absolutely amazing. So I always like to put either a logo, or I like to put a title at the top. So, and you can do this however you like, but this is just what I like. So I could bring this in and say Summer's School, like if that's what I wanted to use for my logo. If I didn't want to type it in and I wanted to actually insert a logo in there, then I would drag in an image right into that column up there. And I could delete this one. And oh, dang it, I deleted the whole thing. So see how I needed to delete this orange. So the orange is the element. So I'm going to delete that one. And then I just simply, any element I want to be editing in, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to scroll down to the image right here. And I'm going to click on that image. And then from there, I can actually choose the image that I've already uploaded. So EverPro Marketing is our marketing agency. And so there's my image. Now, when I'm collecting information, like if I'm doing some sort of a freebie, a giveaway, I actually like to put the logo at the top and then the information on one side and the form on the other. So it's like they kind of get information of what they're downloading and then there's a form right here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add an element and I'm going to add the form in. And so you can, at the top here, you can actually say form. And once again, like this replaces everything. I love it. And if you don't have the form already created, you can just click here to create a new form. Now, these forms are super simple. We're just going to add a form. So you can choose from a template or you can create from scratch, whichever one you prefer. So let's do this one here. We're going to continue to this one. I like the curves of it. And I'm going to go in and customize this form. So I'm just going to click on it. And you'll notice on this side, we've got all the same elements. Well, a lot of the same elements that we can add in. You can actually add custom fields where you go in and you can ask very specific questions. Like, let's say you are a fitness coach and you're like, you want to ask like, what are their goals? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to build muscle? Do you want to just feel better? And so you can create custom fields in here. And anytime someone fills out this form, it stays within SocialFox, which is absolutely amazing. And so not only do you have your funnel in there, and all your membership courses and everything else, your communities, your websites, but now you have their contact information. And when you click on that contact, you can actually see exactly what they clicked on, the forms they interacted with, and the answers that they put on those forms. So you have this amazing snapshot. We want to customize this because my colors aren't necessarily purple. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to say download my free guide. And so I would actually put whatever that guide title was here, but you can just edit it there. You can change the text style, the font family, the background color. Now that is what we actually want to be changing. I'm going to change this to white. And I'm actually going to change the text font color. Now I do have font colors that I use, like branding colors. And so I often will just bring these in and I just drop them in right here. It makes it super simple. So that is step number one. Step number two is I'm going to go in, I'm actually going to change the background of it. And so we're going to come down to styles. And we're going to come to colors and backgrounds in the bottom here. See how it's like input the background color? I could take my branding color and put that in there, but see how that's changing? So this is for the input, the background input colors. We're going to do these black. And then I'm going to change the font color because it's black. We're going to change those up to white. And then the entire background color, we're going to change that to like a grayish. Okay, I like these. It's so funny. I should have planned out. We're going to change those colors too so that they're not clashy so much. And then we've got that's like the border color that we're looking for there. So let's just see if that's in colors and backgrounds. The borders are somewhere in here. So once you find the borders, I'm not going to waste my time finding them, but once you find them, you can change them. It's somewhere in there. I'm just not patient enough to do that. Okay, so I'm going to change this one from a teal to a white. Okay, so now we have all of this. I don't want them to send me a message. I want their name. And I actually don't like doing their full name because I want it separated. I want their first name and I want their last name. So, and I want that separated so that there's never a mistake where it's like, oh, that's my first and middle name. Because when you collect their information, when you start sending them emails, you can customize it and say, hey, Julie, so glad that you're here. And instead of like, hey, Julianne, whatever the last Stanley, whatever their last name is. And so I like to break that up. And then we've got email. Now, I don't like the colors of this at all. And if I was OCD right now, I would definitely change that. But I'm just trying to show you how to build a funnel out. So we're going to rename this form to free guide. And one more thing that I want to show you. When you are having them put their name in, if you click the required button right here, so you click on every single one, they have to fill this out. See how this one's required, and I put required on the rest of them before they can click submit. So send message, and actually we want to say download the guide. Super simple. Okay. And then there's one more thing that we want to do. We want to come into the options. So see where it says on submit. A lot of times this will have a URL, or you can put in like a thank you message right in here. I actually like to send them to a thank you page. And so I want to make sure that there's no link in here, and I'm going to give it a job once I put it in the funnel. So I've created, this is like a piece of the funnel. So we're going to save that. I know it's super ugly. That's okay. We're going to remember this is free guide, and we're going to head back over here, and we are going to load up, and here it is. It just showed up because I just created it. So it's going to show up right here in my funnel. And when I click on this, so I want to make sure I've clicked on this. See how it says use action from form builder. That is not what I want. I actually wanted to go to the next step, which is my thank you page, because if we come back to this, we are putting them on a journey there. We're putting them on a path. We're showing them what to do next. And so I want to send them to a thank you page after that either sells a product, sends them into a group, does something. We have to send them somewhere. Okay, so then we are also going to, that's the form page. We're going to come over here, and I like to add a bullet list just right here. And so we're just going to say A, B, C, D. So these are all the reasons why they should download the guide. You can put in a header right here as well. That's like, here's the things you're going to get if you download the guide. And then I always like to put a footer in. And on the footer, I like to do the terms and conditions. So I want to show you, once you create a header and a footer that you like. So like this one is pretty basic. In fact, let me show you how to, here's a step that I think confuses a lot of people. Every section and row and column can actually, and even element can actually have a background color. So let's just say we made that row, because it's purple, we can see that the row color around it is purple, but we made the row orange. What I should do is make these the colors that they are. This is the, that's the column. Blue is the row, and I can click on background color here. And so now you see the row, and then green is the section. So we're going to do the section like that. And then we're going to come, the element is orange. So just so you can see this, and then I'll take it off because I know it's super ugly. The column is purple. The row is blue. So you can actually put background colors or even images in each one of these. And so if you're ever like creating something and you're like, I don't know where this color is and I want to take it off, it's probably within the element. So we're going to take that out of the element. So now I took it out of the element. And so now I can see behind, which is the row or the column. So we're going to take the column off. Now I can see the row, which is blue. So we're going to click on the row and we're going to take that color off. And then the section, which is green, we're going to take that off. Let's say I wanted to make this row. We're going to make this row kind of like stand out and pop a little just because we want it to. And so once I get it the way that I want it, I can actually save these sections. Now, the key is if you're going to create a section that you're going to use over and over again on multiple pages, you want to really segment those sections out. So I'm going to add one more section up top. And I'm actually just going to drag this into that section. So now this entire thing is just its own little section. It's not connect. It is like it's above this second section, but it's here. And I can come over to this saving disk right here. And I can actually save this. Let's say header. I'm going to save it as the header, and I'm going to save this as a global section. So see how there's a global and a template. Global sections mean anything that gets changed on that section will change on every page that this is on in the funnel. So that's actually super helpful, and I recommend your headers and footers are global sections. But let's say you create a section and it's maybe not a header or footer, and you just want it as a template because maybe you've got a testimonial section that you filled in and you got it all the right way that you want it. And you want to be able to drop that into different areas and maybe change it on a one page and make it a little different on another. That would be a template. So we're going to save this as a global section, and notice it's going to go from the green outline to a dark purple. See how it's dark purple and it says global right here? That means that anywhere I add this in, it's going to be the same. And you always want to save up in the top. And so from here, I'm going to add in a second page in just a moment, and I'll add that section, that global section in there. So you want to create the same thing down at the bottom. And so here we've got this. We're actually going to just automatically save this as the footer. And we're going to make that a global section, save. And then within here, I'm going to do 3 columns. And I couldn't drag that down enough. There we go. And in those columns, like I will put a paragraph here with our terms and conditions, or maybe this is like Facebook terms. And then here we're going to do like just like Instagram. Now, I will tell you this much, like I said at the beginning, you definitely want to be careful with how many places you're guiding them to. And so keep this super simple. Terms and conditions, and maybe Instagram and like an email or something like that. So, and if you're like, oh, I just want to do 2, just delete that. And now you've got the 2 columns that you put those in. So we have a very basic funnel. It's got a header. It's got the reasons why they should download. We've got a form, and this form is going to take them to the next step. And then we've got our footer. Now, here is a couple more keys that you should do anytime you create a funnel. You want to come up to the top. And first, if you've got your Facebook pixels, tracking code, your Google tags, you're going to put them right here in the tracking code. So you'll, and it's not your actual pixel. This is where you want your event codes. I'm going to show you where you put your pixels later. So if you're going to run ads, you want your event codes here. And then from there, we're going to come on over to our SEO metadata. Now, this is what shows up when you share the link. So whatever you put here, this title will show up when you share the link. And so like if you text it to a friend, this title, this is what it's going to look like. And then the description, this is where you describe and put keywords to describe it. So see how that's showing up right here. And then you're going to come down and you're going to add in your keywords, funnel building, how to build a funnel. And I have a couple other videos that talk about all of the SEO keyword research that you need. And then you're going to put you as the author here, and then you can actually add an image. And I'm going to show you this because when you, let's just say this is the image I was going to use. We're going to copy that link. We're going to close this and we're going to paste that image right here. We're going to update that. And we're going to come back into our SEO metadata and see how now when I share this, it's going to have the image here, plus the title, plus the description, plus all the SEO metadata. It's absolutely like imperative that you do this. So we're going to save that right there. And we're not going to hit publish quite yet. If you hit publish, it's going to prompt you to give it a domain. And so we've got our domains right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back out here. And these are our funnel steps. I'm actually going to duplicate this step so that I don't have to remake everything. So we're going to clone this funnel step into this funnel. And I'm going to call this my thank you page. Okay, so we're going to come into publishing and I'm going to say thank you. And then here, this is the slug, the URL. So thanks for downloading. Something like that. Okay. So now I have, we're going to actually go in and I want to talk about the funnel steps. So we're going to come into up here. We've got steps, stats, sales, security, events, and settings. So we're going to come into the settings and I'm actually going to give it a domain right here. So EverPro Marketing. And the path is my freebie. So it would be EverPro Marketing / my freebie. And that would pull up this funnel. And then right here, the head tracking code, this is where you add your pixels from Facebook and Google tags and all of those things. Pinterest, you're going to add the base code right here. And I think I've got a couple other videos. If not, I'll create some more videos on how to do that. So we add the base code right here and we're going to click save. Now, the thing to remember about this is in your steps, in your funnel steps, you have multiple URLs that you can use. The one in the setting will take you to the very first step of your funnel. So it will take you to this first step and there is a, right here, there's a link that will take you there as well. The difference is, let's say I'm like, ooh, I'm going to close out this download for 2 weeks. And you can actually move a different funnel step up to the top. Whatever is at the top is where this path will lead to. Okay. Now, the next one, the opt-in page, if you just want to lead directly to this opt-in page, then you're going to share this link. And this link will always take you to this opt-in page. And this link will always take you to the thank you page. And so now we kind of have all of those worked out. So we're going to go in and edit the thank you page. We are going to, and I copied it. So it's samey. So we've got a global header here. And instead of having a form, because they've already filled out a form, we're going to delete that. And I'm actually going, I like to put videos in here. And I'm going to say, thanks for downloading the guide. Check your email. And I'm going to show you the back end side of this next. And then I'm going to say, jump into our monetize your socials community. If I could spell. I don't even think that's spelled right. Okay. So, and then I'm actually going to put a button here. So we're going to drag a button in, and this button is, I'm going to give it a job to do. So what you need to know is you can change the color. If you don't like the color here, just click like didn't find my color, click on the color there, and then you can drag and drop to the right color that you want and click add there. So it changes the color. And then the next thing we're going to do is join the community. Oh, that's the name of it. Sorry, that's not what I needed to do. I need to go to the actual button. Here it is, right here, the text. And you can add it's fun inside, something like that. Okay, so, and then notice how it says button action is for a pop-up. So you can actually put a pop-up button in here, like the pop-up is right up here. And so you would create the pop-up there, but I don't need the pop-up right now. What I need is for this to go to our website that will take them to that. So it's Summers School. Oops, I did that wrong. So I'm going to put that in there. summerschool.com/MYS. And that will take them to the Summer School Monetize Your Socials community. And from there, I'm going to click open a new tab. So it will keep them on this page so they can keep watching this video where I'm like, thank you for downloading your guide. Here's how to use it. Jump into our community. And so now I've led them to the next step. And in the community, there's like events and things for them to do in there. So we're going to save that. Don't forget, you always want to adjust your SEO metadata. And then up here, your tracking code. This is where if you're going to run ads, it's important to know what the whole point of your funnel page is, because you can then say, here's the conversion that I want. I want a completed registration. I want a lead. And you'll put that in here. And when somebody or Google or whatever makes it to that page, they'll know, okay, we completed a conversion for them. And that's the type of person. And then they can be smarter with who they're sending your way. So now we have a very ugly completed funnel. See how like we can go through and they're going to sign up for the guide. If you preview this, it will be a very ugly funnel. See how it's like right here, they enter their information, they download the guide, and it takes them to that second page. So that is how to build it, a basic funnel, like without any template. Well, I did add into I used a template. So let's come back out here. It's the Elementary Smart Funnel. You'll notice that these templates have lots of different things in there. And so this is our video sales page, our one-step lead generation, our two-step lead generation, download page, and email confirmation. And so when you set up a funnel of a template, we're going to come in here and edit, and all the elements will be in there. And so I just need to come in here. I need to upload. I click on whatever I'm trying to change. And then I'm going to put my EverPro Marketing in there. See how it popped up there? And so it's very easy to adjust once you've done that. This I'm assuming is a video. Yeah. So you put your video here. You can actually do a hosted video with Social Fox. And then this one is a button. And we want to make sure, so this button is taking them to a website. I would actually, and you can choose like to take them to the next step, which will take them to the next step in the funnel. So from there, we're going to come right up to, and you'll want to change all of this stuff too. Here, if I click in the middle here, I can then go to the one-step lead generation, and I can see, is this a page that I want to use? So I could use this page. I actually like these templates. Let's see what the two-step lead generation is. Okay. So get your free ebook and then download page. So this is where you can say, okay, start the download. Now you can do it this way if you do not want to have to set up an automation that goes along with this, but I highly recommend that you are going to set up an email that goes along with this. The thing that you have to know in this process is, hold on, where did I do? I think it's this one. You have to like have the right form here. And so where it says get started, we're going to take this back to the free guide, the one that I created, and I'm going to go to the next step because I want them to go step by step through this. Now that I have the front end set with whichever one I'm going to use, I've got that front end set. Now I have to do the email automation on the back. And the thing I love about Social Fox is that it's all in the same like program. I don't have to open up a different program and zap things in. So now I'm going to come into automations. And I'm going to create from scratch a brand new automation. We're going to call this the download free guide. And the trigger, this is what turns it on. The trigger for this is the form. So when the form is submitted, we created a form. It was called the free guide. When that is submitted, then it turns on this automation. And I can do so many things here. The first thing I want to do is I want to tag it. So we're going to add a contact tag and we're going to say downloaded free guide. Oops. There we go. We're going to add that as a new tag. So now everybody who downloads the guide will get tagged. The other thing that I can do is I can add them to a Facebook custom audience. And I haven't connected my Facebook account to this particular account, but all of my audiences in my other Social Fox accounts, I can then go in and say, okay, add them to my marketing list or my, wellness list, whatever that is. And so now we're like telling Facebook the type of people who are downloading this guide. And then I can send an email. So I can come in here, I can customize it, and I always like to attach it right here. So I like to attach my free guide here. So I'm going to use custom values, and custom values will customize it for them. So first name, here's your guide you requested. And I actually like to tell them a little bit about me and what to expect and things like that. And then you always have to make sure and put an unsubscribe at the bottom. And I make this a trigger link, which I'll do another video on trigger links. Let's do unsubscribe right here. And so when they click that, I have another automation that automatically unsubscribes them. From all of this, this is like literally everything you need to know to start gathering leads and building an audience that you don't have to worry about getting taken away from you. When you build it out this way and you have a funnel that then goes into an automation, you have a way to gather their contact information, and so that they can get nurtured by you and they can learn more from you, and you have a way to deliver to them. Remember that funnels they have one purpose. So every page leads them to whatever that one purchase is. So you can have a funnel that has 10 steps, and maybe like step 1 is to get to the next step, and step 2 is to opt in, and step 3 is an offer to buy a product, and step 4 is to watch a video and get into the community. There's all these different things that you can do when you're building out a funnel system. And I highly recommend using Social Fox. It's absolutely amazing. You'll find the link in the description below. Their customer service is absolutely incredible. It is top notch. And I believe that it's the reason why I've been able to stay organized and grow as rapidly as we have on our social media platforms, because we've had everything in one place. I've done this before where I had Google Forms and I had ClickFunnels and I had ActiveCampaign, and there was so much management going on there that I couldn't actually show up for my audience. I was having a very hard time showing up for my audience. Thank you so much for watching today. If you found value in this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. I will be back live tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button if you want to have more content like this, and we will see you in the next video. Don't forget to jump into the Monetize Your Socials community. You can find that link in the description below as well. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Bye.